Modern life is like a chaotic whirlwind where focus has become a luxury. We are swept up in the vortex of information, social media, and fleeting pleasures, forgetting the most important thing, ourselves. Several times over. If you don't control your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you will forever be a puppet of the outside world. By the end of this video, you will have a toolkit that not only helps shield you from distractions, but also steers you toward a life of purpose and control. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple, free favor you could do is hit that subscribe button and stick with us throughout the whole video. Trust me, you won't want to miss a beat. Let's unlock the secrets to living a focused, purpose-driven life. Taking charge of your life is more than just a power move. It's a necessary for anyone looking to break free from the relentless pull of modern distractions and pressures. You know, there's something incredibly empowering about realizing that you, and only you, have the ultimate say over your thoughts, emotions, and daily actions. It's like waking up one day and understanding that the reins of your life are and always have been in your hands. Now, Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own actions and reactions. The ancient Stoics believed that while we can't control the world around us, we can control how we respond to it. Think about that for a moment. Every day we face a barrage of decisions: what to prioritize, how to respond to challenges, and where to invest our energy. If we don't make these decisions consciously, we're just reacting to what life throws at us. But when we start to take control, we're not just reacting anymore, we're acting with purpose and intention. And here's the real kicker: taking control of your life doesn't mean you have to do everything alone or become a lone wolf. Instead, it's about understanding your value, aligning your actions with those values, and setting boundaries that help you stay true to yourself. It's about recognizing when to say yes, and more importantly, when to say no. How often have you found yourself stretched too thin, committed to tasks or engagements that don't serve your ultimate goals? Each time you take on something that doesn't align with your core values, you're not just using up time, you're diluting your essence, your personal power. This act of taking control also intertwines with the concept of responsibility. Stoicism doesn't just teach us to endure life's hardships, but to embrace responsibility for our own lives, including our happiness and well-being. It's about accepting that if you want life to change, you must change how you live it. This might mean rethinking your daily habits, rethinking your commitments, and restructuring how you spend your time. Imagine the freedom that comes with this control. Suddenly, you're not at the mercy of your circumstances. You can choose how to react when things go awry and how to forge ahead with your long-term vision, no matter the short-term setbacks. This kind of mindset shift is powerful. It's not just about avoiding the negative either. It's about actively creating the positive, about making space in your life for the things that truly matter. And let's not forget about the peace that comes from this approach. When you're in control, there's a profound sense of calm that pervades everything you do. You're no longer caught in the tide being swept this way and that. Instead, you move through life with a stoic tranquility, knowing that come what may, you have the inner resources to handle it. Discipline and sacrifice might sound like big, heavy words, sounds that bring to mind grueling workouts or giving up all your favorite foods. But when you really think about it, these concepts are about creating a life that aligns with your deepest values and aspirations. It's about choosing your long-term well-being over momentary pleasures, and that's a powerful choice to make. When we dive into Stoic philosophy, we see a strong emphasis on self-control and the power of living according to reason rather than being swayed by fleeting emotions or desires. The Stoics weren't about denying themselves joy, but they were all about choosing a joy that lasts, choosing virtues that stand the test of time over quick fixes or superficial success. Building discipline is essentially building the muscle that helps you consistently make those choices. It's the practice of lining your actions with your values, day in and day out, even when it's not the easy thing to do. Now, let's talk about sacrifice. Sacrifice is often seen as giving something up, but in a Stoic sense, it's more about investment. You're not losing something, you're investing in something greater. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve your ultimate goals, you're saying yes to something else that does. Want to build a business? That might mean sacrificing lazy weekends. Aiming to be healthier? That might mean passing on deserts. It's all about priorities, and making those tough choices consistently helps you build a life that truly reflects who you are and who you want to be. And here's the thing about discipline and sacrifice. They feed into each other. The more disciplined you are, the easier it becomes to make sacrifices because you're clear about what you're sacrificing for. It's not deprivation if it's a choice that leads you to a richer, more fulfilling life. In fact, that clarity and purpose can bring a profound sense of satisfaction and empowerment. It's like looking at a map and knowing you're on the right path. Even if the terrain is tough, you know where you're heading, and every step, no matter how challenging, is a step toward your destination. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds great in theory, but it's not so simple in practice. And you're right, it's not simple, but it is straightforward. Decision plan doesn't complicate your life, it simplifies it. Think about it. When you have clear rules for how you live, rules you've set for yourself, based on what truly matters to you, every decision becomes easier. There's less hemming and hawing over every little choice because you already know what's important. You become more decisive, more free, and ironically more free. Free from indecision, from regret, and from feeling like you're not in control of your life. Embracing discipline and sacrifice also leads to greater self-respect and self-trust. Each time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, that you are worthy of trust, and that you have what it takes to achieve your goals. That's a powerful foundation to build your life on. It's not about being rigid or harsh with yourself. It's about being honest about what it takes to live a life you can be proud of, and then having the courage to live it. So, while discipline and sacrifice might seem daunting, remember that they are the tools with which you carve out a life worth living. They are the practices that allow you to rise above the chaos of everyday decisions and distractions and focus on what's truly important. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not just important, it's everything. Building a disciplined life, a life where sacrifices are seen as stepping stones to greater achievement, is what Stoicism is all about. It's not the easy path, but it is the rewarding one. When you think about it, how we organize our day says a lot about what we value. A cluttered, chatty schedule can reflect a chatty mind or life. But a well-structured day where every task and every moment has a purpose, that speaks volumes about intentionality and focus. It's not just about getting things done, it's about making sure what we do matters, aligning our daily actions with our long-term visions. In Stoicism, there's a big emphasis on living deliberately. It's not enough to float along, reacting to whatever life throws at us. Stoics teach us the value of proactivity, of crafting our lives with the same care and attention that a sculptor might use when chiseling a statue from marble. And how do we do that? By carefully choosing how we spend our time and energy each day. Scheduling and focus aren't just productivity tools. They are fundamental practices that help us live more virtuously and purposefully. Think about your typical day. How much of it is spent doing things that truly resonate with your core values? How much is spent in distraction or in activities that don't really serve you? The truth is, without a clear schedule and a sharp focus, it's all too easy to drift off course. Our modern world is engineered to pull our attention in a million different directions. Notifications, the endless scroll on social media, the latest drama. It can all take away from time that could be spent on more fulfilling pursuits. This is where the art of focus comes in. Focus is not just a skill. It's a practice, almost a form of meditation. It's about bringing your attention back to the present moment and to the task at hand again and again, no matter how many times it wanders. It's about being present in your own life and scheduling. That's about priority. It's about deciding what's important enough to take up your time. A solid schedule protects your focus by creating boundaries, shielding your energy from the myriad of less important things that could otherwise obsess your day. Stoicism isn't just about enduring life. It's about enjoying it in a rational, thoughtful way. By setting a schedule that reflects your priorities, you're effectively mapping out a path to your best self. And by sticking to this schedule with focused intent, you're walking that path every single day, regardless of external circumstances. This kind of disciplined approach frees you from the tyranny of whims and impulses, and instead grounds your actions in your own chosen value. And let's not underestimate the peace that comes with this kind of structured approach. When you know what you need to do and when you're going to do it, there's a certain calm that settles in. You no longer need to fret about when you'll get to your tasks or whether you're making progress on your goals. Your schedule has it covered. This clarity and peace of mind are priceless. They allow you to fully engage with each task, each moment with full confidence that you're exactly where you need to be. So, how do we start? Begin by evaluating how you currently spend your day. Identify the time sinks, the habitual activities that don't serve your larger goals. Next, think about what you truly want to accomplish both in the short term and the long term. Now, craft your schedule around these insights. Block out time for the activities that drive you toward your goals and be ruthless about cutting out the distractions. Remember, focus and scheduling are skills, and like all skills, they improve with practice. The more you practice focusing on the task at hand and adhering to a well-thought-out schedule, the more natural it will become. Over time, what once felt restrictive will start to feel like freedom. The freedom to live a life that's fully aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. In a world that often seems obsessed with outcomes and end results, it's easy to forget that the journey, the process itself, is where the real magic happens. It's where we learn, grow, and truly make a difference in our own lives and the lives of others. We get so focused on the destination that we sometimes speed past the experiences that shape us, the moments where we find our true strengths and weaknesses. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. And while we can influence outcomes, we can't control them entirely. What we can manage every day settles our actions and attitude after the actions, and assess the process by shifting our focus from outcomes to the actions that lead to those outcomes. We gain a much deeper sense of control and satisfaction. It's not just about reaching the peak of the mountain. It's about becoming someone who can climb mountains at will. Think about it this way. If you were only fixed on getting to the top of a mountain, you might miss the lessons learned from the struggle of the ascent, the adaptation to the harsh winds, or the strategy needed to tackle the next climb. These experiences are invaluable. They don't just prepare us for one specific goal, but for any challenge that might come our way. In focusing on the process, we become versatile, resilient, and prepared. We become masters of adaptation, not just momentary champions. And here's something else to consider. When we focus solely on results, we're often tempted to take shortcuts. We might achieve our immediate goals, but at what cost? By valuing the process, we ensure that we are building something sustainable, that we're not just building a house of cards ready to topple over at the first sign of trouble. We're laying down a strong foundation, brick by brick, with our own hands. This approach breeds a type of integrity and authenticity that quick wins simply can't match. Moreover, by embracing the process, we learn to find joy in the everyday. Each step becomes rewarding, not just the moment of crossing a finish line. For Stoics, joy comes from performing each task with care and attention, from living according to virtue in the present moment, without being overly attached to the past or anxiously awaiting the future. This mindful approach frees us from the anxiety of what-ifs and if-onlys, allowing us to live fully in the now, appreciating each stroke of the brush as we paint the canvas of our lives. So, how do we make this shift in perspective? Start by setting small, process-oriented goals alongside your larger, outcome-based goals. For instance, instead of just aiming to lose weight, an outcome, set a goal to walk a certain number of steps each day, or to cook a healthy meal each evening. The process. Celebrate these small victories as fervently as you would the achievement of the final goal. Over time, these process goals will build habits, and habits build the kind of life you want to live, one day at a time. In erasing the process, we also cultivate patience, a virtue highly regarded in Stoic philosophy. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about maintaining a good attitude while working toward your goals, knowing that some things just can't be rushed. It's about trusting the process and being open to the lessons it teaches us. Sometimes, in the constant buzz of our social world, the idea of solitude can feel like a forgotten art. It's almost as if being alone has become synonymous with loneliness or isolation. But there's a profound difference between being lonely and embracing solitude. When we choose solitude, we're not just stepping away from the noise of the world, we're stepping closer to ourselves. It's in these moments of quiet that we often find our deepest clarity and strength. Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches the mastery of self through rational thought and emotional resilience, places great value on solitude. The Stoics understood that some of the most important conversations we will ever have are the ones we have with ourselves. In solitude, away from the influence of external voices and distractions, we can hear our own thoughts more clearly. We can reflect, plan, and connect with our deeper values and aspirations. This isn't about escaping from the world, but rather preparing ourselves to engage with it more effectively. Embracing solitude gives us the space to practice self-reflection, a key Stoic exercise. It allows us to examine our lives critically and compassionately, to acknowledge our flaws and to celebrate our strengths. This kind of introspection helps us understand our motivations and correct our course if we find we've strayed from our chosen path. By regularly engaging in this practice, we build a stronger sense of self-awareness, which is crucial for personal growth and resilience. Moreover, solitude can be a powerful tool to strengthen our inner resolve. In the quiet, we are the sole architects of our thoughts. There is no crowd to sway us, no peer pressure to influence our decisions. It's just us and our principles. This environment is where we can best cultivate fortitude and endurance. It's where we learn to be self-reliant, finding comfort in our own payment and confidence in our own decisions. But how do we embrace solitude in a world that often fears it? Start small. Dedicate a few minutes each day to sit quietly with your thoughts. Maybe it's a morning routine where you reflect on what you want from the day, or perhaps an evening ritual where you ponder what you've learned and how you've grown. These moments alone are not about idleness. They are a place to reset pauses that can help recalibrate your mind and spirit. Remember, the goal of embracing solitude is not to disengage from the relationships and activities that enrich our lives. Instead, it's about creating a balance. Just as our bodies need rest after exertion, our minds benefit from quiet after the clamor. Solitude provides a sanctuary where our minds can rest and recover, gaining the strength needed to face the complexities of life with a calm and steady demeanor. Every one of us at some point feels like life is spinning out of control. Whether it's a lost job, a broken relationship, or just the chaotic pace of daily routines, these moments can leave us feeling helpless and overwhelmed. But what if I told you there's a way to not just survive these challenges, but to thrive amidst them? Today, we're going to unpack 10 powerful strategies inspired by Stoic philosophy, an ancient yet timeless wisdom that teaches us how to strengthen our mental fortitude. We'll explore how figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus turned their philosophical insights into practical tools for overcoming adversity and maintaining inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll have mastered the art of mental strength, ready to face life's storms with composure and resilience. So stay tuned as we delve into these transformative techniques that promise to bolster your mental defenses and enhance your life's quality. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to keep learning with us, hitting the subscribe button is a simple, free way to show your support. And remember, Don't skip any part of this video. Every technique we discuss could be the key to your next personal breakthrough. Let's dive in and discover how to apply these age-old Stoic principles to our modern-day challenges. When life knocks you down, it's tempting to view it as a personal defeat. But here's a Stoic twist. Those setbacks, they're actually your secret weapons. Think about the last time you faced something truly challenging. Maybe you didn't get that promotion you were sure was yours, or perhaps a relationship didn't work out the way you hoped. Instead of viewing these as mere failures, Stoicism invites us to see them as pivotal moments of learning and growth. Aristotle once mused that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. This rings especially true when we face challenges. Each difficult situation is a classroom, and the lessons we learn are about our resilience, our adaptability, and our true desires. For example, not getting that promotion might reveal an opportunity to enhance certain skills, or even reconsider our career path to find something that aligns better with our passions and capabilities. A relationship ending might be tough, but it also opens the door to self-discovery and understanding what we truly value in partnerships. This Stoic practice isn't just about looking on the bright side. It's about actively using every hurdle as a step to climb higher. It's about taking control of the narrative of our lives. By embracing challenges as opportunities, we're not just passively getting through life, we're actively shaping it. Each challenge molds us, teaches us, and prepares us for future obstacles, turning what could be stumbling blocks into stepping stones. This mindset doesn't just make us mentally stronger, it makes us architects of our own destiny, building a robust foundation of character and resilience. Imagine for a moment that your abilities are like clay in a potter's hands, moldable, adaptable, and capable of forming into whatever shape we desire. This is the essence of a growth mindset, a concept that isn't just modern psychology, but deeply rooted in ancient wisdom. The Stoics believed that our character could be shaped by our thoughts and actions, reinforcing the idea that personal growth is within our control. Adopting a growth mindset means seeing yourself as a work in progress. It's about embracing the belief that with effort, perseverance, and resilience, improvement is always within reach. Consider the challenges you face not as indicators of your inabilities, but as opportunities to evolve. Every time you push through a tough project or step out of your comfort zone, you're not just accomplishing a task, you're stretching and growing your capabilities. This mindset shift can be incredibly liberating. It removes the shackles of perceived limitations and opens up a world of possibilities. Where once you might have thought, I can't do this, with a growth mindset, you begin to think, I can't do this yet. It's a small word, but that yet is powerful. It's full of potential and future success. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This speaks directly to the heart of a growth mindset. By daring to try, to fail, and to try again, we make our tasks less daunting. We learn that failure isn't the opposite of success, but a vital part of achieving it. Each failure teaches us something new about how to approach problems, hone our skills, and become better than we were yesterday. You know, there's a common misconception that self-discipline is about punishing yourself, about gritting your teeth and just grinding through life. But let's reframe that idea, because what it really revolves around is the concept of self-mastery. A key component in Stoic philosophy. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals, not as a form of punishment, but as a path to genuine freedom. When you practice self-discipline, you're essentially saying, I am in control of my actions, and I choose to act in ways that lead me closer to my ideal self. Self-discipline is the art of choosing long-term satisfaction over short-term pleasure, which is a core Stoic practice. Think about Marcus Aurelius and his meditations. He wasn't just ruling an empire, he was mastering himself. This mastery over his desires and impulses allowed him to lead a life that was not only meaningful, but also aligned with his principles. Now, imagine applying that kind of discipline to your own life. Say you want to get healthier. The disciplined choice isn't just about denying yourself that extra slice of cake. It's about choosing to respect your body's needs and your health goals over fleeting cravings. Building this kind of discipline can start small. It might be as simple as getting up with your first alarm in the morning. Each time you resist the temptation to hit snooze, you strengthen your willpower. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And as this strength builds, so does your ability to tackle larger challenges. Suddenly, tasks that once felt daunting or out of reach seem manageable because you've trained yourself to persevere. So when we talk about self-discipline in the Stoic sense, we're really talking about freedom. It's the freedom to choose your actions based on your rational decisions rather than whims or fleeting emotions. This isn't about restricting your life. It's about enhancing it, ensuring that every choice you make is a brick in the foundation of the life you want to build. It's easy to fall into the blame game when things go wrong, pointing fingers at others or circumstances, but here's where Stoic philosophy offers a powerful shift in perspective. Stoics like Epictetus believed that our responses to events are within our control, even when the events themselves are not. This idea is transformative because it means that you are the architect of your own experience, not merely a victim of circumstances. Taking responsibility means recognizing that your reactions, your emotions, and your actions are up to you. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, how did I contribute to this situation, and what can I do differently next time? This isn't about self-blame or guilt. It's about empowerment and growth. For instance, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, instead of blaming the team, the resources, or the timing, examine your own role. Could you have communicated more clearly? Was there a misstep in your planning? Acknowledging these things doesn't diminish your capabilities. It enhances them by paving the way for better strategies and solutions in the future. By embracing this level of accountability, you cultivate a sense of integrity and honesty with yourself that is deeply grounding. It leads to a life where you feel in control of your destiny rather than tossed about by the winds of fate. And here's the best part. When you start taking responsibility for your actions, you also start to recognize your power to change your life. You're no longer a passive participant, but an active creator in your world. This approach fosters a deeper resilience as you're not constantly derailed by unexpected outcomes. Instead, you learn from them, adjust, and move forward. It's about turning life's lessons into stepping stones toward a wiser, more capable you. Life's emotional roller coaster can really test our mettle, can't it? One minute you're up, the next you're down, and sometimes it feels like you're just stuck in a loop. But here's something Stoic philosophy teaches us. Resilience isn't about avoiding these ups and downs, it's about navigating them with grace. Stoics like Seneca believed that developing emotional resilience was key to maintaining inner peace, no matter the external chaos. Building emotional resilience starts with acceptance. It's about acknowledging that hardships, setbacks, and negative emotions are part of life. Think about it. Getting upset about feeling upset only adds another layer of distress. Instead, when challenges arise, recognize them as opportunities to practice maintaining your composure. For example, if you get passed over for a promotion, allow yourself to feel disappointed, but don't let that disappointment derail your entire sense of self-worth. This is what the Stoics meant when they talked about using obstacles as fuel. Every emotional challenge is another chance to strengthen your resilience. Moreover, cultivating this resilience involves more than just dealing with disappointments. It's also about embracing a broader perspective. Consider the idea that every hardship might be serving a greater purpose in your personal growth. This shift in viewpoint can transform the emotional weight of an experience, turning feelings of victimhood into lessons of empowerment. But how do we practically build this resilience? Start small. Practice mindfulness to stay present during emotional disturbances. Engage in reflective journaling to process feelings constructively, or simply talk things out with someone whose perspective you trust. Over time, these practices help you develop a buffer against the rough patches, ensuring you're not so easily knocked off balance. Embracing this aspect of Stoic wisdom doesn't mean you won't feel pain or stress. Rather, it means you'll be better equipped to handle it. Emotional resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And as you build this strength, you'll find that not only can you handle life's challenges better, but you're also more capable of enjoying life's joys fully and without reservation. Sometimes the difference between a good day and a tough one is simply our mindset. As we started, it might sound a bit out there, but hear me out. The power of your thoughts can truly shape your reality. This is where the practice of positive affirmations comes into play, a technique that's not only backed by modern psychology, but also echoes the Stoic focus on controlling what's within our power, our thoughts and reactions. Positive affirmations are like little anchors of self-belief that we plant firmly in our minds. They help combat the often automatic negative thoughts that can cloud our days and influence our actions negatively. For instance, instead of waking up with the dread of what could go wrong, imagine starting your day by affirming, "I have the strength to handle whatever comes my way," or "I am capable and prepared for my tasks." These aren't just feel-good quotes, they're declarations that set the tone for how you interact with the world around you. The Stoics weren't about empty optimism, but they valued the importance of a well-ordered mind and maintaining a positive outlook. They believed that our emotions and behaviors are the result of our judgments and thoughts, which means by shaping those thoughts, we can influence our emotional state and actions significantly. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, would remind himself every morning of the challenges he would face and affirm his ability to deal with them honorably and with patience. Integrating positive affirmations into your daily routine can start very simply. You might post sticky notes on your bathroom mirror with affirmations written on them, or set reminders on your phone to pause for a moment and repeat a few empowering words to yourself throughout the day. Over time, these affirmations help to overwrite those deep-seated beliefs that we are not enough, enabling us to approach life's challenges with more confidence and less anxiety. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when we think about all the things in life we can't control, the news, the weather, or other people's actions. But here's a refreshing thought from the Stoic playbook. Why not shift our focus to what we can influence? Stoicism teaches us the value of distinguishing between what is in our power and what isn't, and then pouring our energy into the former. This philosophy isn't about resignation, it's about empowerment. For instance, we can't control whether we'll face traffic on our commute, but we can control leaving early enough to feel relaxed on the road, or choosing an audiobook that makes the time pass more enjoyably. This approach can be applied to bigger aspects of life too. We might not have the power to change a difficult co-worker's behavior, but we can control our reactions to them, choosing to respond with patience and understanding rather than frustration. By focusing on our own actions, decisions, and attitudes, we harness the power of our agency. This doesn't just reduce stress, it builds confidence. Every time you choose to focus on what you can control, you're taking responsibility for your own peace of mind and well-being. It's a proactive stance. You're not just being tossed by the waves of fate, you're steering your own ship. And the more we practice this, the more natural it becomes. Start with small things, your posture, your breathing, or the way you allocate your time each morning. As these small efforts accumulate, they lead to significant changes in how resilient and responsive we feel. We begin to see that, though we can't control the world, we can control our place within it, making thoughtful choices that align with our values and goals. Ever noticed how a coffee catch-up with a cheerful friend can lift your spirits for the entire day? It's like their optimism is contagious, right? That's the power of surrounding yourself with positive people. It not only boosts your mood, but can fundamentally shift your outlook on life. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on inner tranquility and rational thinking, also recognizes the influence our social circles have on our personal growth and mindset. The Stoics were keen on the idea that to live a virtuous and content life, one must engage with those who embody the qualities we aspire to. If you spend time with individuals who are committed to personal growth, kindness, and positivity, you're more likely to cultivate these traits in yourself. Think about it. When you're around someone who faces challenges with a calm and optimistic outlook, their approach can inspire you to handle your own difficulties more gracefully. This doesn't mean you should shun friends who are going through tough times. Rather, it's about balancing empathy with the need to protect your own mental health. Being there for a friend in need is important, but so is immersing yourself in a community that uplifts and motivates you. Positive people aren't just happy all the time. They're realistic, resilient, and proactive. They're the ones who see a setback as a setup for a comeback, and their resilience can motivate you to adopt a similar attitude. To integrate this into your life, start by evaluating your current relationships. Which interactions leave you feeling energized? Which ones drain you? Gradually, spend more time with the energizers and consider setting boundaries with those who drain you. Also, seek out new connections that align with your aspirations. Join clubs, groups, or online communities that share your interests or values. As you cultivate a supportive network, you'll find that their positive influences make it easier to maintain your own stoic balance and focus, enhancing your overall well-being and life satisfaction. By choosing your social circle wisely, you're not just choosing friends, you're choosing your future mindset and emotional environment. So, take a page from the Stoics. Let your friendships be your fortress, supporting and strengthening you as you navigate life's ups and downs. Taking a moment for yourself in today's non-stop world can sometimes feel like a luxury you can't afford, right? But here's the thing. Self-care isn't a luxury at all. It's essential, especially if we want to live the balanced, contented life that Stoicism teaches us about. Stoic philosophy isn't just about endurance, it's about flourishing in every aspect of life, and that includes taking good care of our body and mind. Self-care is often pictured as long bubble baths or days at the spa, but in Stoic terms, it's more about ensuring you're in the best shape to face whatever life throws your way. It's about creating a routine that includes activities that recharge your batteries and reset your spirit, not just once in a blue moon, but as a regular part of your life. This could be as simple as making sure you get enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, or setting aside time each day for meditation or reflection. Think of it this way. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor, despite his immense responsibilities, found time to write meditations that focused on his own self-improvement and philosophical reflection. If someone as busy as he was made time for self-care, we can too. And self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. By taking care of ourselves, we are better equipped to be there for others and to face our responsibilities with a clear, focused mind. Incorporating self-care into your routine can start with small steps. Begin by identifying what truly replenishes you. Is it a quiet walk in the park, a rigorous workout, or perhaps just some quiet time with a book? Once you know what works for you, make it a non-negotiable part of your day or week. Schedule it like you would any important appointment, and guard that time against the demands of daily life. By consistently practicing self-care, you're not just looking after your physical health, but you're also nurturing your mental resilience. You're giving yourself a break from the stresses of daily life, which can boost your ability to think clearly and act wisely. Remember, a well-maintained tool performs best, and you are the most important tool in your life. Isn't it fascinating how each day offers us new lessons? No matter how old or experienced we might be, that's something the Stoics deeply understood and cherished. The endless journey of learning. They believed that wisdom wasn't just about accumulating knowledge, but about continuously adapting and applying that knowledge to improve oneself and cope better with life. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." It's a reminder that personal growth doesn't have a finish line. It's a lifelong pursuit. In the modern world, where change is the only constant, embracing a philosophy of never-ending learning is more relevant than ever. Think about all the successful people you know or have read about. What do they have in common? A relentless curiosity and a commitment to continuous learning. They read books, they experiment, they seek new experiences, and they aren't afraid to ask questions and challenge their own assumptions. But here's the best part. You don't need to be a great philosopher or a famous entrepreneur to benefit from this approach. All it takes is a commitment to remain open to new ideas and experiences, whether it's picking up a new hobby, learning a new skill, or simply reading a book outside of your usual genre. Every new thing you learn not only adds to your knowledge, but also enhances your understanding of the world. So how do you make continuous learning a part of your life? Start by setting achievable goals, like reading one book a month or completing an online course every quarter. Keep your mind active by engaging in discussions, attending workshops, or even teaching others what you know. Teaching is a fantastic way to deepen your understanding of a subject because it challenges you to present it clearly and thoughtfully. And there you have it, 10 powerful steps to not just cope with life's ups and downs, but to thrive through them.